my sweet little chocolate strawberry milkshake. I made a video here talking about hope and disbelief, how they repeat each other until everyone is rinsed out before we can finally move to higher prices in crypto. Now, I have a question from Yo Mammy, aka My Mammy, asked a very interesting question, and this is a very common question in the crypto sphere. I get it a lot. And the question is this, we're going to read this together. What if we're actually in complacency right now? Instead of disbelief. And he says, my peanut brain, shout out to your peanut brain, says that the sky's falling. First recession for the cryptos. So I actually made a post to quickly summarize, to kind of feed the insatiable hunger for some people out there who wear crumpled slippers during the week and who need saving. So I'm going to show you this, okay? So remember, the Wall Street cheat sheet, baby doll, baby cakes. So just a quick refresher. We are in disbelief. How do I know this? Because I called it. That's how I know it. The market was going up despite there being bad news. And nobody believed it. Everybody was saying, oh, golly gee, I just can't believe that the markets are going up when there's a recession around the corner. That's what they were saying about crypto. They're in disbelief. They literally can't believe it. They can't believe that they got conned into selling once again. They can't believe that the diamond hand, peanut brains like me, are actually correct. And that's because they watched the red candles come. So that's why they're in disbelief. They're learning from the recent past. It's very normal, okay? Now, hope and disbelief are going to happen, but this is what people always say. And it's good to ask this question. There's nothing wrong with asking this. So at the top of euphoria comes complacency. Complacency is the big danger. Complacency is, well, it's going to get way worse from here and it's about to get really bad really fast. Complacency. So if you zoom in here, you can actually see we just need to cool off for the next rally. So complacency is, you notice I say we need to cool off, which means even though the prices are going down, it's okay. I don't need to act. I am complacent. Yes, my pants are down. Yes, I've got whipped cream everywhere. Yes, I had too many illicit substances. And yes, I drank alcohol like a fish. But it's okay. No one was recording me. Well, if they did record me, they can't see my face. And if they can't see my face, I hope they blurred it out. You see what I mean? And then even if your half-naked video made it to the internet, there's a report button for you. You see how you're a little complacent here? So it's exactly what happens with markets as well. When the red candles come, these are red candles. Now these, I can show you these in the charts. This is the language of the markets. This is what happens. So this is in the bull market. So Baby Doll Yo Mammy is saying to me, hey, what if what we're in now is complacency? So as you've seen, Bitcoin is having this little rally now. So if we change it to like a little 3-day chart, so it's what everyone's always worried about. Now, I know you're going to say, hey, that doesn't look like the chart, but it's the principle, right? It's not about the exact chart. It's about the emotions. So people were saying, so actually, right, this is what everybody called complacency right here. So here was Elon Musk, Doge Mania. This was actually complacency. Okay, now I was not paying attention to it because I was partying without my pants. I didn't even need underwear anymore. Don't worry about underwear. I was partying with everyone else. But this is what actually was happening. Elon Musk went and did the Saturday Night Live and we went down. You're like, wait a minute. So nobody thought on this first. See, friends, it's very hard to be this short-termer because look, how difficult it is for you to say this specific red candle, this is the one that's complacency. Do you see how hard it is? Very hard. This little box was complacency. It was, well, I actually remember thinking, hey, why isn't going parabolic? I remember saying that down here. So that's actually real complacency. And why we even mention the word complacency? It's because there was good news coming out in a bull market. But the price was going opposite to the good news, okay? So there was good news. So the news was coming out. So the news was coming out good, but the price was coming down. Okay, that's the complacency. So you can actually make very big macro trades off this. One of the most famous, one of the stock market wizards, the trading wizards, from the book by Jack Schwager, Market Wizards, Jason Shapiro. He's got a YouTube channel. He actually trades like this. You watch his videos. So what he looks for a narrative in the markets, and he looks for a candle to close the opposite color of the news. And that's how he knows that the move is getting exhausted. So for Bitcoin, right, we had, for example, this was the big warning sign, right? We had the Coinbase, good news, and then we had a red candle here, right? Now, it's really hard to look at this so closely, but this is, in hindsight, this is what happens. This was exactly, this candle was Coinbase IPO, and then look, you had a red candle after. So that's why everybody who's a paper hand was saying, whoa, you're all complacent. Coinbase IPO'd, you got Bitcoin all over. We should be much higher, right? That's where Richard Hart and a few other people were saying, hey, man, we got warning signs here. But like, as you'll find out, a lot of people, it's easy for them to say it. I'm guaranteed they won't get the next one, okay? So where we are now, a lot of people are asking, hey, what about now? Are we not in something complacent? Okay, so that's what they're actually talking about, friends. So people are basically worried about, is what we're seeing here, is this complacency? Why can't we just go down? We can go down. It's markets, man. Someone wants to click market sell and damage themselves, they can do that. But, big but, different context. Because in this bear market, with constant bad news, I'm going to have to get a bear. We all know bears are smelly and poop in the woods. Wow, look at this cute little bear, by the way. Woo! This cute, happy little bear. Okay, so bears are smelly and poop in the woods. This is a bear market. The news is bad. Okay, the news is very bad. So we're actually going to put a knife here to signify danger and murder. And then the news is very, very bad. But what happens is, this green candle starts happening, and I was saying, wow, disbelief. Nobody can believe it. And people were, do you remember when Bitcoin first went up here, right, to 22,000, 23,000, people were saying, what the hell? Inflation's still high. They're hiking interest rates. How the hell are we going up? Things are still bad. They haven't even cut rates yet. That's what everybody was saying. So disbelief, the early disbelief, is the exact polar opposite of complacency. The exact polar opposite, friends. Okay. That's why, by the way, this cycle for Bitcoin was, we got scammed here. This was not meant to happen like this. This fake leverage thing, this was an anomaly. We were not meant to be like that. We were meant to be higher and hit 100K. Something was meant to happen. We were not meant to be, it was not meant to have that pattern. We were meant to go to 100K, come back and do something like this. But this was complacency, because you could feel all the good news coming out. But there was also complacency here in NFTs, just a different side of the market, because I was getting record volume, yet the prices of the floors were going down. That's what happened, okay? So complacency is arrow going up. So there's good news, but the price is going down. The price is disconnecting, okay? And no one's paying attention, because everybody's partying with their pants down and their faces aren't even blurred and they don't even care, all right? That's what complacency is. And disbelief, 180 turn from that. The news is bad, so now the sentiment's down, but for some reason, the price is going up. And people are like, oh, golly gee, I don't understand. So that's a key difference. What do we have here? We don't even have good news. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that, friends? Right here. Where's the good news? I've only seen bad news. You can even see this red candle here. This was the USDC DPEG. Banks going down. There's just bad news, all right? Bad news everywhere. Unemployment rate, recession fears, all these jizz up down there. Oh, the BRICS nation, it's going to be more unstable for the US dollar. All this political stuff. And you know me, I'll never get political here, because like, who cares? We can't influence anything. My channel is for friendship and kindness. We're here to make it in the game, because life's a game and it could be a simulation for all we know. So we're going to play it pretty good. We're going to do it as best as we can. And right now, the simulation, the events unfolding before us are saying, hey, there's actually bad news, but we're going up. You see, most people can't comprehend this, because they're like, wait a minute. We can only get green candles on good news. And what have I been telling you, baby doll, baby cakes? I've been telling you it doesn't even matter. You will just get a candle color of green first, and then people will put the news out. Same as the red one. I know it sounds crazy. No one believes it because everyone's like, hey, we obviously went down on this red candle that I'm looking at right now because of FTX. I know, but I'm telling you now, there's multiple universes and we were always meant to go down here. How do I know this? Because I was drawing this. One of my scenarios, friends, you know this big wick here? When we were like here, I said, look, if Bitcoin wants to really bottom out, it'll go down right under the low, have no capitulations, and then go back up. That's just what markets do. They hunt everybody. I actually had this drawn. I had it. I just didn't like talking about it too much because I didn't want us to go back to the low. But that was one of the scenarios drawn. So it is what it is. So you're looking at this going, okay, you've seen the evidence now. Are we in complacency now? No. The evidence for it, very weak. Just because we're going up is very weak. Now, you got to ask, right? You got to ask, why would Sir Yammy Yams even be asking this question? And most people, now I don't know Sir Yammy Yams himself, right? But most people ask this question because they are sidelined. They are a toilet paper emoji themselves. That's why you'll see most of them, because they're asking, complacency. They're clinging on to hope. That's exactly the polar opposite of the bulls up here. You know what everybody was clinging on to hope for? They were hoping things like, hey, Elon Musk, like he's a genius. He's done so much research. He wouldn't have bought in if he didn't think it was going 100K. People were saying that, myself included. Michael Saylor, he's put over 100,000, you know. Look how he picked Apple right. He got the early tech companies right. So people are hoping. There was also, maybe a Bitcoin spot ETF talk and it's the bull market and all these things, these narratives we're just dressing up to tell ourselves that everything's okay, but we're struggling, we're rounding off. So you got to be very careful with these scenarios. Why I'm stressing these is because if you play this out over a 10-year period, because I'm here looking out for your future. I want you to be as healthy as you can. Just like if you have children, you want to feed them vegetables and healthy stuff. You can't have them eat donuts and McDonald's every day. You understand that. You're trying to get their bones strong, healthy minds, healthy hearts, healthy souls. So I'm trying to get that for you. I am getting that for you. And I promise you, if you run this scenario out for 10 years, you're in your whole financial future. If you try to play these, you will screw it up more times than you actually get it right. You will. Because when you wait for the confirmation, you wait for the green candles and you get faked out, it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. For example, there are so many people I know sold at the bottom here. Look at this, right here. 45,000. That's their complacency. They looked for reasons to be complacent. But then they started punting up the top. Back at 60K. They're like, oh, crap. We're going to 100. And then they have to get out again. This scenario will happen. You are lucky, and so am I, that the volatility is so extreme that you can actually kind of play around up here and have the market continue so aggressively one way for you to make it back. But I promise you right now, it's not going to be like that forever. The market's getting more efficient. The volatility will drop over time. So yeah, maybe we're able to bink it now. Well, doesn't mean we'll be able to bink it forever, which means do really, really well. So we're talking about complacency. We're talking about what's happened in this cycle that's different. Well, not much. The emotions are still the same. The same game. Disbelief. Nobody can believe that we're going up. People are still asking, hey, is it complacency? Hey, is everything going to go down or not? Yeah, it can go down, of course. And I like that everybody's asking if it's complacency because it means there's still more juice. There's more people left to convert. That's what you want. If there's more people to convert on the sidelines, you have more legs for this bull market. You have more legs for this bull run to continue. In fact, you might even find that those complacency questions and those people talking about a lower leg in Bitcoin, perhaps Bitcoin goes all the way to 48K and they're like, okay, you guys were right the whole time. We shouldn't have gotten out. Yes, you don't wear your pants, but it's for good reason. You don't even blur your face because you don't even care. And that's right, I don't care. I'll streak out naked. I don't really care. I don't care. The green candles are here for everybody. And so are my hearts of friendship and justice. But we might find if we get too antsy-pantsy up here, you might find that when the Fed starts cutting rates, all those people who are talking about, are we in complacency now? They might actually start saying, oh, no, we're going into optimism. Right? So it's a moving target. We don't know. That's what I'll be waiting for. Once we've finally got all the people in disbelief to actually start believing, well, it ain't disbelief anymore. It's probably going to be the bottom one, right? It's actually hope. That's what it is. And this will be a fun test to see if it really does happen. I don't want to risk it because, at the end of the day, there are really two things we're looking at. Friends, I've made these scenarios out. There is the 2019 ghost, which is woohoo, party. That is, okay, maybe we get out and rebuy lower here. Maybe. That's scenario one. There's also another scenario of we go up, we go sideways like this, and then we go up again, sideways, we go up like that. So we end up at the same place around the Bitcoin halving in 2024, but we get there differently. So the big 2019 Echo run has a big swing coming up fast, but the slower methodological one, that one is a replica of the 2014 Mt. Gox scenario. And we don't know which one is playing. You can guess, you just be ready for both. If it's the slow one, how do you be ready? You just keep holding. You don't do anything. Just keep buying all the stuff you can. You can't really buy and sell or do anything there. It's not worth it. But if we do get some sort of mania, which is my bull trap for everyone, it would be a perfect scenario of maybe it's September, the Fed actually cuts rates, and people, some people have said to me, hey, now that everyone knows if the Fed cuts rates, it's bearish, do you think that will change something? Yeah, it's possible. But also, I'll tell you something else. When the Fed cuts rates, they might be saying, hey, ladies and gentlemen, and Greg, I'm not cutting rates because the economy is weak. I'm cutting rates because inflation's coming down. So what they'll be saying is this time is different. And now we're going to have to decide, do we want to believe them or not? Because it's true. If they cut rates, actually, yes, this time is different. Inflation went from 9% down to like 3%, which has never been done before without a recession, by the way. Never. Whenever inflation crosses above the 5.5% to 6% threshold, you need a recession to reset everything. That's everything, all the data points, that's what they've said. So if we actually get down inflation without it, this is a unique circumstance. Very tough to believe in. That's why I keep telling you, man, you see all these games of game theory, chess, and what's going on. I promise you, this is why I tell you, watch the calendar, not these little charts and scenarios. You gain nothing from this game theory. Because, yeah, maybe we're going to get one right here and there. We're going to maybe trim off the portfolio. Woohoo, have some fun, rebuy our bags a bit lower. But that one time you get it wrong, I promise you, friend, look, I don't care about the people who are going to make it with me. I really don't care. Like, I love you all, but I know you're going to make it. I have confidence. So I shouldn't say I don't care. I do care, but, like, it's okay. You can be swimming around in the pond without your clothes. I know everything's going to be all right. What I'm scared about is the people who, they do this, all right? Let's say Bitcoin goes up here and then they sell a bit. And they're like, okay, I've got 30% out. But then Bitcoin actually goes up to 70K. What are they going to do then? Because I know what people do. They start leverage trading. They start buying poopy coins. They rebuy the top with their bags. And then this actually real thing happens. Things like that happen. Once you start to get people in the mindset of trying to predict short-term chaos, they buckle. Not everybody is built to have a peanut brain like me. My little salty peanut is just rolling around in his skull. There's plenty of space to bounce back. But some of you have nice, soft, squishy brains. You've got families. You can't afford this. And the worst part is, In 10 years, it won't even matter because you won't outperform the buy and hodl guy or girl or dog or pet duck named Greg. I hope I make myself clear. Are we in complacency? I don't think so. Can we be? Maybe. That doesn't mean let your guard down completely. It just means you've learned something today. There are key differences. But if there's one thing we can agree on, it's that our friendship is pure and forever. Please tell mum and tell dad that you love them.